Juju Bees. Welcome back to the channel. How are you guys doing today? Today is the weekend. It's Saturday. Excuse my hair is real puffy today. Um, but if you are new here, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Today I'm doing my own rendition of a seafood. Hold on, sorry, I'm gonna have to scoot you back, baby, okay? Because I need to get the food up here. My own rendition of my seafood boil side. So I got chicken apple sausage, regular andouille sausage, broccoli, boiled eggs, and shrimp. And this is homemade Belove. Well, not homemade, with the Belove sauce pack. I have everything in here that the recipe calls for except for pickled ginger because I could not find any pickled ginger because I wanted to do it the right way, but I couldn't find any pickled ginger, but I have everything else in here, and it's really tasty. It's the spicy version. She's actually running a sale on this, I think, on Amazon for 50% off while supplies last. So if you like Belove sauce, you should go over there and see about it. So, like I said, if you're new here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for coming to see me tonight. It's a little late, so maybe those late bloomers could be watching. So, we are still on Ethic 2. You see, I got my Ethic candle, my man, and I got my Messiah here in the cut, okay? And we're going to pick up right where we left off. So I think excuse me, I got some of my eyes itching. I think where we left off last time was, Morgan was going to the dance studio. It's so good, y'all. So Morgan was going to the dance studio at her school. Because, like I said, she decided to go to state, Michigan State. So, mind you, she hasn't heard anything from Messiah all day. She sent me a message. He hasn't really responded. She hasn't heard anything from him all day. So, she kind of like, to try to go clear her mind, she finds this dance studio on campus, and she decides that she's going to, go dance it off. So, she goes to the studio. She do this little dance routine, Like I said, sorry, I got wine in my book lovers. Wine glass. I think it's Oliver. Cherry Moscato. But, she has always liked to dance, but of course, because she was deaf, she kind of was at a disadvantage because she could only feel the beat, not feel the bass, not necessarily hear the words, and completely hear it like a hearing person could hear. So she's always kind of not been off beat, but like a step behind what somebody else would be on, if that makes sense. Because this is kind of cold. Okay. But so she's always been what they would call not offbeat, but either a beat ahead or a beat behind. But it still winds up being like this really nice thing. A lot of people who watch her say, like, what beat do she catch? I can't, excuse me, I can't hear it. And it's because I think she danced off the beat that she can feel, not the actual beat that she can hear. So, going to the studio, to do this dance routine, so I think it's like a Chris Brown and the Booty Me song. She does a routine off of there, and then all of a sudden when she gets finished dancing, she hears somebody like giving her like a round of applause. So she looked in the back and she see this girl, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry, I didn't know that the room, was booked." And she's like, "Oh no," she was like, "You did a good job." She was like, "I ain't never seen nobody dance dance like that, and I'm the best." And she was like, "How come I haven't seen you around?" She was like, "Oh, because I came late, they let me start late, and because of that, I'm in my own apartment. I'm not on campus." And she's like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "Well, I kind of have like this dance group, not dance group, but like this dance thing we do. and it's called Stiletto Gang. And if you are not busy, we kind of doing like auditions or whatever tomorrow. And I would love to have come and dance with me. She was like, I'm pretty sure you'll be, on the up and up because of what I just saw you do. Like, that's superb. She's like, I don't really know if that's my crowd. I don't know if I can keep up. And she was like, well, I just saw you can keep up. And so Morgan's like, I guess maybe I'll think about it. So the girl like, my name is Aria. I'm a dance major. So just think about it. And if you show up tomorrow, then I know, that you want to do it. If you don't, then at least I know what's up. She was like, but I've never seen anybody ride the beat like you ride the beat. And so Morgan told her, I was born deaf. So I interpret music or I hear music a little different than the natural hearing person. So the book goes, excuse me. So she goes, leaves the studio. She's walking to her. I skipped the part. Nish is supposed to meet her, which is her old best friend, the girl I don't like. But she sent her a text message when she was in class while she was waiting on Messiah and told her, like, it's been a long time. We need to link up with each other. I'm going to come. If I come to state for the weekend, can I stay with you? And she's like, yeah, sure, you can stay with me. Like, we got a lot of talk we need to do anyway. And she's like, yeah, we do. And she's like, but I really don't feel like going out. I'd rather stay in. And so Nish was like, girl, you going to cuss me out because I ain't been that good of a friend. And then we going to go out. And Morgan was laughing or whatever. So when she leave the dance studio, she go home, carrying all of her bags. Now, flash in the same situation but a different scene. I mean, the same scene but a different person. Cream is like sitting outside of Morgan's apartment complex because he has finally figured out that Messiah has kept Morgan on the hush up at College State. That's how he found out. Like, every time he went to look for Messiah, okay, he could never find him. And he finally realized that, Messiah was keeping a lot of time up at Michigan because that's where Morgan was. So, sorry. He's watching her go inside her apartment complex. And when he see her walk up, he, try to keep it far enough distance so she don't kind of like fall on her, but at the same time close enough so that eventually when she open the door, he can like bum rush her. So he get to the door with her. She go to get her key, open up the door, and then boom, he bum rushes her. So he get her in there, he tie her up, and he asked her, like, I'm gonna ask you one time, where is Messiah? And she like, I don't know, like, he hasn't been answering for me. I don't know where he is. And he like, I don't have all day to play. You need to get him the answer. So he calling and calling, and there's no response. Now, mind you, Messiah's on the other side of town on the highway robbing the semi trucks. So he don't take his cell phone with him. So he doesn't even know that somebody's calling him to try to get in contact with him because he doesn't even have that phone with him. He only has a burner phone. So Messiah's waiting on the semi to come up, and then all of a sudden he get a phone call on his burner phone, and he like, who is this calling me on my burner phone? Only people who really know this number is my business associates, Issa and Amik. So when he looked down there, he see that it's Ethic calling. So he's like, what's up, OG? And he's like, I need you to get the state and get Morgan. I just want to make sure all my kids are safe for the weekend. We got a couple issues going on or whatever. He like, what that mean? He like, cash rules everything around me. And so Messiah like, oh shoot, like, he instantly get the code, found out that it's Cream that's lurking or whatever the case may be. So he like, can it hold up? And he like, nah. So he make a U-turn on his bike or whatever. So now he's kind of nervous, thinking like, oh my God, what if something has happened to Morgan? Like, I'm all the way on the other side of town. She ain't heard from me all day. I haven't heard from her all day because I've been in the streets and that's just our routine. And now here it is. Now I got this sense of panic because Ethic done called me and told me that I need to get upstate and pick up Morgan and bring her home. So now he panicking. He got his helmet on. He doing 90 on his bike. And then all of a sudden he notices, like, his vision is blurred. And he like, dang, like it must be raining. And he looking down like, but my bike ain't wet. I'm not wet. And the thought of something happening to Morgan has literally brought him to tears. Now, mind you, he's rough as they come, okay? He hardcore, you know, but he has an absolute tender spot for Morgan. And in his mind, he feels like, oh my God, I dropped the ball and I'm not keeping her safe. So he flying, like you said, he cut a 60-minute drive down into about 30 because he's flying down the highway trying to make sure that ain't nothing wrong with Morgan. So now let's flash back to Morgan's apartment. In Morgan's apartment, he like, okay, I'm tired of waiting on him to call back. Maybe he ain't never gonna come, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of you, and then that way it can bring him out. You put the silencer on, pew pew. It's a wrap. I'm devastated, of course, as a reader. I can't pull myself together. Okay, so when Messiah pull up, he don't even park his bike. He just hop off the bike and let the bike skid, and he run into the scene because there's ambulance everywhere, people everywhere. He like, oh my gosh, what has happened? So he go up to the scene and he trying to break through the tape, and the police officer's like, no sir, no sir, you can't get through here, not right now. And he like, let me go, let me go. He cussing them out. He performing. I mean, acting all type of crazies. And the police officer like, listen, you can't get over here. And if you don't stop, I'm going to have to arrest you. And I don't want to do that. He like, but right now, you don't want to see her in this type of condition. He like, oh my gosh. Like, he done did something so bad that I won't even be able to identify her face. Like, he can't get himself together. So he like instantly is more angered. And so it's a black police officer. And the black police officer was like, "But do she have any distinguishing body marks, on her body that can help you identify who she is?" And he like, "Yeah, she got a moth tattooed on her wrist." And so the police officer go over there and he checked the wrist, and sure enough, it's a moth tattooed on her wrist. He like drops to his knees, lets out like a heart wrenching scream because it says he got on his knees and screamed until he was out of breath. And it's like, I can't believe it. Like, I cannot believe that just that fast, something, just the flip of the switch happened that fast. So, of course, he get himself together. He go back to Flint, and he like, it's on now. Like, it's on time. It's cut time. Come pick me up. I'm going to see dude, and I'm going. It's over. I'm gonna make him extinct. I'm putting him in the dirt. He will no longer be here. So he rolls around to the neighborhood where Alani lived, because mind you, Cream is Alani's baby's daddy. So he go around there, and lo and behold, Cream is on a porch trying to get into Alani's apartment, Alani's house. Now, mind you, Alani's afraid of him now because he done roughed her up before he left. And so she not letting him in her house. So she on the porch arguing with him, trying to get him out. And before she could argue any further, Poseidon came up, grabbed that man by his shirt, jacket, whatever it is, flung him down the stairs, beating him up real bad. He done hit him over the head with flower pots. He at the end he found a bat. He done hit him with a bat, and he ain't just going for his head. He going for any body part that he could think of. And then Alani on the porch screaming like, "No, please, please don't do that. Please don't do that." He ain't listening to nobody. Next thing you know, everybody on the street start flicking on their porch lights. And so Issa like, "Hey man, you gotta chill. Like we can't do this. Like it's gonna be a whole murder scene." He ain't listening to none of them. So Issa goes to try to grab him and make him stop. And he like, "Hey, if you touch me one more time, you in the dirt too." Basically, like, so Issa like, "All right, like okay, like fine." So Amika like, "Come on, bro. Like it's too much attention you bring it to the situation. He ain't say nothing. He don't even respond. So in the middle of all of this, Ethic pulls up like Messiah, let him breathe, and he still ain't listening. Okay, he's now mind you, Ethic is Messiah's mentor. So he pull up on Ethic comes up and he tell him like, Messiah let him breathe. And Messiah ain't listening because he in a rage right now. You done killed my girl. You got me out here. I didn't even do what you think I did. So you done took it out on me, and I ain't even the one who did. I ain't even the one who put your daughter in the dirt. It wasn't even me. And now you done took out the person who I didn't even know I loved as much as I love, and now I can't get her back. Like, oh, ain't no stopping it. Ain't no letting him breathe. Sorry, I ain't gonna be able to do that. So Ethic come over to him, and he grabbed him by his arm, and before he could even think fast, he done drew his own Ethic now. And they both drawing. They both drawing their pieces, okay? And Ethic like, you need to relax. And he basically tell him like, this is why you're no good for her. Because you cannot control your emotions. Like, you go from 0 to 100 real quick. Like, you don't have a chill button. You don't have a logical button in your bone in your body. So before you ever think about like the repercussion that's gonna happen, you instantly go from 0 to 100. Ain't no in between with Messiah, and it's not. He either on or he off. There is no like rational thinking like, oh, let me think about this is a good move. Nah, I'm going with whatever my impulse tells me. Impulse tells me you killed my girl, so you gotta go too. So they kind of like, going toe to toe with each other with both their pieces put. He like, basically, so he still hold his to him, and all of a sudden he hears somebody like, Messiah, Messiah. And so he turned to look, and it's Morgan. And he like, how are you here? Like, is my mind playing tricks on me? Like, am I imagining that you here? Like, what is really going on? Like, this is too much. Like, I know you was there because I saw you under that white sheet. So somebody tell me what's going on. So she like, please stop. So he let the piece down, put it in his pocket, and he like, I ain't beat for this. Like, now mind you, Ethic don't know that Morgan and Messiah have been sneaking around, and he don't know about their relationship. So imagine how Messiah feels. Like, he thought he saw her just under the white sheet just mere hours ago, and then now here she is pulling up in the car, and he instantly wants to go to her, grab her up, scoop her up, smell her, because I want to know, like, is this really real? Are you okay? But he don't care about what Ethic thinks, but Morgan does. So it's like, what am I supposed to do? I'm in a tight spot. I was heartbroken just 5 minutes ago, and now I'm relieved, but I'm still mad because I can't even embrace you like I want to embrace you. So he go get in his car to try to cool himself off. Issa and Meek wind up holding Cream up because Ethic says hold him up. So they hold him up, and he tell him like, hey, look, I hear, you looking for me, okay? And basically you going about it the wrong way. He said, if you looking for somebody who got rid of your daughter, it was me. I was the one who did it. So if you're looking for retaliation, I'm the one who you should retaliate against. Now, at this point, Cream is almost incoherent, okay? They say his eyes busted, he got bloody nose, he nodding in and out, like, he really don't know what's going on. But he told him, like, I'm the one who you need to take it out on, and basically, like, you can't go to war with me for real. Alani on the porch, she's still crying. She's hysterical. She can't believe this is going on. He told him, he said, you see her right there? That's me. He said, she don't have to mess with me another day in her life. She always gonna be me. He said, perhaps if you was a man, you wasn't behind bars, you would be able to be the protector of your family, and perhaps maybe this wouldn't happen to your daughter because perhaps they wouldn't be in a situation they was in. But since you are not that, and you're less than a man, here we are. He's like, so if you want to take retaliation out on me, I understand because I'm a man, but I'm a father first. He said, so it is what it is. He said, so I need you to walk away while you still can. Now, Ethic did not pull the plug on, how I'm eating my stomach growling. But Ethic did not pull the plug on Cream because he did not want to cause any more heartache for Alani. If something was to happen to him, then they would call her because she would be his next of kin. And he didn't want to have to put her through that. So he let her go. So once they let him go, they got in their cars, they left. Ethic asked Morgan, like, what are you doing here? She was like, your location was here, his location was here. I just was trying to see if everything was okay. She couldn't tell him, like, that's my man, I was coming to check on him. So they got to the house, and Ethic is talking to Messiah, and he like, don't ever pull your piece on me again in your whole entire life. And he was like, no disrespect to you, OG, like, but I'm keeping my distance. Like, she up there, I'm down here, I'm taking care of business. I ain't bothering her. But you didn't see what I saw. Like, you didn't see her under that sheet like I thought I saw her under that sheet. Like, you don't know. He was like, I can't control what I feel for her. It is what it is. I'm respecting the boundaries that you asked me to put in place. But it ain't that easy. Because I love her. Okay? And I don't know what else to do or how to unfeel this, but that's what I feel. And no disrespect. He's like, I want to apologize for that, dog. I want to apologize for retaliating against Cream when he did something that I thought he did. I won't be sorry for that. I won't. And so, he basically told him, like, you need to cool off, but don't pull your piece out on me no more. But that's the reason why I said, good for her, because you're too hot-headed. So, he leaves outside, go outside, and Morgan's sitting on the porch. And he like, I thought that was you up under there. He was like, and I didn't even know how to handle myself. This is too much for me. He's like, I don't even know how to do this or how to handle this. He was like, so we gonna have to take a break. Because that's too intense for me. Because Ethic told him, like, if you love her, you will let her go. Like, good girls and bad boys, they don't mix. Usually something always messes up the good girl because she involved with a bad guy. And he got to thinking like, well, if I love her, I guess I have to let her go because I don't want nothing bad to happen to her because of me. Granted, this situation wasn't Messiah's fault, but it could have been. He got a city full of enemies. He ain't been doing good his whole life. So he tell Morgan, like, we're gonna have to take a break. We're gonna have to back up off this. Like, I ain't beat for this. And this is Messiah's defense mechanism. I don't know what this is. I don't know how to handle how I feel, but I do know how to walk away. I do know how to throw in the towel and say, like, enough is enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this before it ends me. And so he tell her, like, I'll come back. Come on, I'll come back. I'll always come home, and eventually, I'll come. Hold on. Eventually, I'll come back home, but right now it's just not a good time for us. Like, go ahead and live, shorty. Like, I love you 100 grand, but I'ma just have to let this go for right now. And she like, please don't do this. And he like, I can't do this right now. My people's up the street, so I'm gonna go ahead and go. But I love you, and I'm always gonna be, I'm always gonna be yours. But I'll be back home one day soon. So now Morgan is devastated because he done broke up with her. He's still on the fence, heartbroken. It's just a lot going on. So I'm going to stop right here because we have almost 25 minutes in. But don't forget, if you are new here, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I am going to love you for it. Share the video. And come back tomorrow. And I'm going to finish. Well, I'm not going to finish up, but I'm going to continue on. Until next time. What you got to say? Bye, Mike. You got to come over there. Can't see you. Come on. Hi. Until next time. Bye. Bye, my Jujubee. Bye, Juju.